Alright, Gael, here is the front view of your breaststroke. Go ahead and start this video for you. The first thing that I do want you to notice, and I saw this a little bit in your frontal view of the butterfly, is that you have a slight hip tilt that's happening in your body. It's also affecting your kick and your shoulders, and this would be the number one issue to address. So again, if we pause it here, you can see that this slight tilt of the hips is causing a discrepancy in the distance of the depths of the knees. Part of the reason why you are having a discrepancy in the hips is because of how much time you're spending pushing the water out in the top of the stroke. You can see the hands are pointing to the outside walls. You can see that one shoulder is dropped and the other one is closer to the surface. Ideally, being closer to the surface is better. You can also see, because of the shoulder drop, that one elbow is a little bit higher than the other, as well as one hand stays a little bit further away from the body than the other hand. All these discrepancies are causing you to have an asymmetrical catch on the water, which is not allowing you to have max propulsion in the water. You can see that with the slight tilt of the hips, that your chute is just a little bit off balance. So if I were to draw a line straight down the middle of you to cut you in half, you can see your hands are just slightly to the side of that line and not in your midline. So as you're shooting your hands more towards the right side of your body than you are towards the left side of your body. You really want to try and get your fingers to point down as soon as possible. And be mindful to try and keep your hands at equal depth. Again, you can see one hand is a little bit closer to the surface, and one hand's dropped down a little bit more. Fixing the symmetry in your stroke will make your dynamics of your stroke a lot better and a lot easier. Okay, you can see here again, because of the hip tilt and the differences in the hands, that we have a discrepancy in the height of the elbows as well. And then again, the hands are shooting towards the side as opposed to straight down the middle. I'll go ahead and let you watch this in slow motion. Fixing the issues in the body will really help fix the issues in the kick. You can see one knee is dropping down deeper than the other. And so that leg is having to push slightly different water pressure than the other. Again, like we talked about in your breaststroke kick video, we can see how wide your kick is and how wide your feet go outside of your body line. And then, because your kick is so big, you feel like you've been gliding for a long time. Even though you haven't finished the kick, you're starting the hand pull. If you could make that kick more narrow, then it would finish a lot faster and you would be able to get to the next pull a lot sooner. I like that you are starting to get your face in the water before you're initiating the back push of your kick. But again, when you're pushing out into the sides instead of pushing the water straight back behind you. The kick's too wide, so we're never getting into a very hydrodynamic position. And again, just like we talked about in the freestyle and butterfly videos, you're just a little bit deep under the water, which is causing you to have to lift up a lot. It's making your elbows having to go through deeper water. And you cannot get the churn at the surface that we want to see in those elbows. You can see your entire arm submerged as you're doing your entire pull. Ideally, we'd like to see your head already at the surface before you're starting your catch to know that you have really good balance for that catch. So you don't have to lift yourself up. You can only worry about pulling yourself forward. I hope that this helps.